Well, hey everyone, happy after Super Bowl Monday. Hope everyone's doing good. Enjoyed the game. I wanted to share, again, I'm going to start sharing these more with you. One of my passions is to not only help people, invest in real estate and buy and sell homes, but also, most importantly, I feel, to invest in themselves. And when I share with you, I'm giving, right? And one of the things we're going to talk about is these 4 desires that Brendon Burchard shared a couple weeks ago on his app called Growth Day. And if you haven't heard of Growth Day, I really suggest you check it out if you're interested in personal development and personal growth. It's a great app, great site, just to help you grow and learn. And if you don't know about Brendon Burchard, he's kind of the top individual right now in personal growth, and it's pretty interesting. But anyways, I wanted to share this with you because when I share these things with you, I learn. It helps me learn, and it makes me feel a little bit better. It's almost selfish, me doing these things, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys get some benefit out of it. But today I want to talk about those 4 desires with Brendon Burchard, and really what he's talking about after safety and sustenance. After we feel safe, right, and we have the basics of what we need, a home and food and shelter and all those things. These 4 things are incredibly important in our life. So I want to go through these 4 things with you, and you can kind of see where you are. If you have these things, how can you create these things in your life? Because they are desires in our life, whether we're aware of it or not. And sometimes if we're not aware of it and we're not pursuing it, then we kind of don't feel as good as we should or could in our life. And life is challenging enough, right? It's incredibly hard. It's both beautiful but painful, right? In reality of what it is. And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but just a realistic way, from relationships and parents and business and paying the bills and whatever it is. We all have challenges, right? So to ignore that and not be aware of that is silly as well. So 4 desires that Brendon Burchard talked about. Number 1, this is again after safety and substance, where you're able to eat and have shelter, is number 1 is aliveness, is feeling that passion, that excitement, that presence of really being connected in the moment. To be able to feel the magic of the day, teach yourself to feel the day. But we want to feel alive. We want to feel present. We want to feel that passion of it being in the moment. And sometimes we don't do that, right? Because we're not in the moment. So we go to other things to avoid maybe the moment that we could be feeling. Maybe that's a conversation with somebody that's in front of you. Maybe that's, driving down the road and being able to look out, obviously on the road and be safe, but seeing the sunset, seeing the birds, seeing the trees, or taking a walk, and feeling and being alive in the moment. Sometimes we walk and we do certain things, or we're driving and our mind really isn't in the moment. It's about so many other different things and places. Number 2 is a deep connection, right? We want to feel connected. We want to feel connected to our Heavenly Father. We want to feel connected in our relationships. We want to feel loved for. We want to feel cared for. We want to feel that we're worthy in someone else's eyes. So really, that number 2 is that desire, is to have that deep connection with somebody else. How can we deepen our relationships? And we need to be looking at that every single day. So number 2 is aliveness. How alive are we? How present are we in the moment? Are we feeling the things that are going on and really being thankful and grateful for them, right? Just being aware. And sometimes, guys, it's really hard because we get so distracted. We're so in our phones so much that we aren't really in the moment, that we don't really feel alive. We're scrolling and we're judging and we're looking at other people's stuff, and it just doesn't make us feel that alive or that great, right? So, and what it also does is it inhibits that deep connection with somebody else. If we're looking at our phone or we're doing other things, it's really hard to have that deep connection maybe with that person that's next to you. So in our desires, at number 2 with deep connection, we really have to be aware. So it takes those 2 things. It takes being alive, being in the moment, being aware, being present, and then that deep connection is also that desire And it really is important too. And it's asking questions right to the other person, finding out their goals and what they want to do and how their day was, and communicating, really thinking and being incredibly curious without judgment or without defensiveness to the other person. Number three desires is that meaningful pursuits. We need to be active in pursuing what matters to us. That's going to be incredibly important. So every day, are we doing that? Are we in active pursuit of what matters? That could be as simple as being really what we just talked about in the beginning, being alive, being focused on that, having deep connection. It could just be, hey, the meaningful pursuit of being an amazing spouse, maybe being a incredible father, whatever it might be. But we need to have meaningful pursuits. We need to be trying to be more, I guess, than what we are. And that's incredibly important. And that is a desire in our life, and we need to be aware of that. And number four, the fourth thing is growth, right? Growth really creates a sense of aliveness. When we are growing, we feel alive because we have to change. We have to pursue. Sometimes in growth, we have to have that deep connection maybe with that other person. So that's incredibly important as well. And when we're growing, we have a sense of accomplishment. If we're not growing, then I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. When I grow, or when I share, or when I give, or when I'm reading something, I feel more alive. I feel more present. I feel more purpose in my life. So that's incredibly, incredibly important. So when you go through this, when we talk about these 4 desires that Brendon Burchard talks about that we all have after safety and substance. Number 1 is aliveness. Okay, so look at your life and look at every single day, and do you feel alive? Are you passionate? Do you have excitement? Do you have presence? Number 2 is that deep connection. How is it going in your relationships? Do you have that deep connection? Do you feel loved for, and are you loving somebody else? And a lot of that takes being present. It takes being that aliveness. I don't want to necessarily repeat myself. And number 3, do you have meaningful pursuits? Are there something that you're pursuing? And like I said, it could be just as simple as being, I want to try to be more present in the day. Or it could be something like, I just want to be an amazing parent. And then what is that? What does that look like? And again, get into more detail of how you do that every single day, the actions and the choices that you make. And number 4 is growth. Are you growing every single day? When you watch this, if you are spending any time on it, or you just continue to keep scrolling and be like, what's this dude talking about? I don't know, but hopefully this is a little bit of growth here. It helps me when I'm able to teach this and share this with you. It helps me to grow a little bit, and it makes me feel a little bit more alive. It's a meaningful pursuit to me, and hopefully it's a little bit of a connection that we're having. And I sure as hell need to be present when I'm doing a live video, because if I'm not present, I don't know what's going to happen. So think about that. Aliveness, deep connection, meaningful pursuits, and growth. 4 desires that Brendon Burchard talked about that I think are incredibly important in our life. So look at your life, look at your days, and how is that going? How are you living that every single day? So guys, thanks for watching this live video. If you need any additional help or want to communicate with me or talk with me or anything like that, if you just go to damoneddy.com, I do have a 5 lesson online course, and I also can schedule a call with me if there's anything that you want to go a little bit deeper, dive a little bit deeper in your life. Because like I said, besides helping people buy and invest in real estate, my biggest passion really is to help people identify the most important areas of your life and really learn how they can live these principles, learn how they can, again, identify the most important areas of life, what they want, what do you want for those most important areas of your life, and then give you the tools and the accountability to go ahead and really live that every single day, or attempt to. We're not going to be perfect every single day, but when we are growing, when we do have pursuits, when we do have a deep connection with somebody else, and we do feel alive in the moment and we're present, it does help a lot. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Yeah, that's it. See you guys.